Hello, you beautiful sack of haunted meat. Today we are answering double questions. I am your coach, Melanie Black, and I love these questions together because they address two parts of the same puzzle. Question number one, how do I gain muscle definition without losing strength? And what's the best way to lose fat and keep muscle? So these are very similar questions. We're going to answer them with three different parts. So first off, if we're looking at gaining muscle definition, we are assuming by that you mean being able to actually see the muscles you've been working on underneath a layer of fat. Now, keep in mind, depending on what your goals are and where you are in your training, you may not want to get down to like bodybuilder stage level shredded, okay? Remember that the people who get up on stage as bodybuilders or do those photo shoots and they look like shrink wrapped shredded wheat, they are at a body fat percentage that they actually cannot maintain year round. So in general, for men, 13 to 18% body fat is considered a healthy normal. For women, 18 to 26%. And wherever you fall on the gender spectrum, you might be somewhere in between. It kind of depends on your body, but that is the normative data that we have to pull from for those percentages. And you can look up different, what that looks like on different people. In general, you're going to start to see ab definition at around 18% to give you some idea. So if you want more than just a general soft definition, if you really want to get down to that shrink wrapped shredded wheat, understand that you may want to get down there for a stage event or a photo shoot, but you're not going to want to stay there all year round. And yes, when you see those people on stage showing off those muscles, they are actually at their weakest for their entire training cycle. Many of them will even go so far as to do dehydration to really like shrink wrap those muscles to show them off. And it's not a spot that you can stay in. I can totally appreciate wanting to challenge yourself and do that occasionally, but for most people, this is completely impractical. So you're going to want to keep that in mind as you're going into your muscle building fat loss adventure. Now, once you have decided, okay, let's say you were shooting for 18%, you're getting down there. How do I get down there without losing strength from all of the work that I've done? This is a topic that's near and dear to my heart. I've dabbled in little boxing matches and powerlifting events where you want to get down to the lowest weight you can without losing any strength or speed, because you're being judged on performance, even though there is a weigh-in. So there's a little bit of tactic involved there, right? Okay, so how do we do that? Number one, we want to make sure that we're not cutting calories too much. You want to plan ahead and make sure that you do a low and slow caloric reduction. If you want to really take this seriously, reduce calories by about 300. That's not much. You're going to have to track really carefully. You're going to have to use a nutrition database to make sure that you're tracking really carefully and that you're only reducing your calories by about 300. Most people will begin losing body fat, losing excess body weight with a caloric reduction of 300 to 500 calories, and staying at the upper edge of that, just reducing by 300 calories means that you're going to have a very slow weight loss, but you're also not going to lose strength. So that's wonderful. We definitely want a slower, low rate of fat loss, of weight loss, with that small little caloric amounts taken off the top. So you would reduce by 300 calories. And if you start losing like less than a pound every 2 weeks, then you would want to maybe reduce it a little bit more down to 500 to keep that weight loss going. And you are going to want to take photos and measurements as well, because especially if you are mass gaining, you're not necessarily going to see that weight loss, that fat loss on the scale. So you're going to want to take progress photos with you flexed and relaxed. You're going to want to take measurements, circumference measurements with a Taylor's measuring tape, in addition to your weight on the scale, and making sure that you're weighing in at a consistent time each day, because you're going to see that weight loss at such a slow crawl. You want to make sure that you're actually seeing what you think you're seeing, because weight on the scale can fluctuate up to 8 pounds in a day, can make it very frustrating to track slow weight loss, which is exactly what we want for this goal. So we want to reduce calories. That's one. We want to make sure we're getting enough protein. So important when we are building muscle mass, but also important for weight loss, because all of your metabolic hormones, your ghrelin, your leptin, your glucagon, your insulin, all of your hormones that help you process the calories that you take in, they are all peptide hormones, meaning they are made out of protein. So if you're not getting enough protein in, you're going to have a hard time losing excess body fat, and you're going to have a hard time maintaining muscle. So the general easy way to do that, if you're trying to gain muscle, is just say 1 gram per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 150 pounds, you're gonna try to get 150 grams per day in you. Now, if you're quite overweight to begin with, and you still want to do this low and slow journey, maybe you're, you're a strongman kind of person, and you want to do like big heavy lifts and gradually bring down the weight without losing athletic performance, you may need to look at the BMI chart to use the number that is on the upper end of healthy normal on the BMI for this goal, and use that as your number of grams of protein. But in other words, if you are, for example, 100 pounds overweight or something, you might want to go ahead and look at that BMI chart and say, well, if I was at what the BMI would consider, and I know that the BMI is not totally accurate, but if I was at what the BMI would consider a upper end of healthy normal, how many pounds is that? That's how many grams of protein you can use for your program as well, if you don't want to go by your current body weight, if that's just too many grams of protein. So you want to track your calories. You want to make sure that you're tracking what your body's actually doing. It can be very difficult to see what our body is doing without those progress photos, measurements, weight on the scale, etc. So reduce calories, get enough protein, track everything. And when you do all of that, you should be able to continue to lose weight and maintain strength. Another technique that you can try on top of all of this is timing your carbohydrates in your day. So, for example, about 20 to anywhere from an hour to 20 minutes prior to your workout, have a serving of carbohydrates. That is going to help give you the energy, help give you the glycogen stores in your muscle, the ATP, so that you can actually do the work, have the energy to do the work so that your workouts don't slow down. I wouldn't recommend doing a low carb, no carb kind of diet if you're trying to maintain strength levels. So you want to time your carbohydrates. You want to make sure you have a caloric deficit of about 300 calories per day. You want to track everything, and you want to make sure that you're getting about a gram of protein per pound of body weight. And if you do all of those things, heck yeah, you're going to gain muscle definition. You're not going to lose strength. You're going to lose the fat. You're going to keep the muscle. You're going to feel amazing, but it does take time. It is a process. So think of it as a hobby. Think of it as something that should be fun, right? Don't think of it as a chore. Think of it as a puzzle. Think of it as something that your mind puzzles out. So thank you, question askers, for those beautiful questions. If you have questions on fitness and nutrition, you can go ahead and drop them down below in the comments. If you would like online coaching with me, you can go to www.thenerdgym.com and sign up for any membership level, and we can do a consultation, see if it is the right solution for you. And if you don't have any questions, I've got a question for you. What is your favorite protein source? What kind of protein do you like? Go ahead and let me know below, and I will see you next time. Bye.